Hi everybody, I'm Miss Natalia, and I'm so happy that you decided to join me for Arts and Crafts. Today, we're going to be making a galaxy painting just like this one. So let's get started. Let's start with a blank sheet of paper and your paint set. With your flat brush, start painting the whole page black. As you can see, to my right, I also have some of my other materials, like a glass of water to rinse my paintbrush, paper towels to dry my brush, and a clean paper towel for some effects we're going to make with the paint. Now, I'm going to take these 4 colors that are pretty bright for the colors of my galaxy. With my thin brush, I'm going to dip into the darkest color, this purple. And I'm just going to splotch it on. It doesn't need to be perfect. It can be very messy. Now, tear a strip of your paper towel and create a little cushion with it. And now we're going to dab, 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 dab. Since the paint is still wet, it's going to blend out a little bit. And it's going to give us that sort of spacey feel. Do you see what happened to that purple paint? Rinse your brush. Now, the pink. That's going to be our second color. Again, I'm being very liberal with this. I'm just painting it on, all of these dots, in no particular order, just random. Don't be shy, splotch a lot of color on there. Now you're going to take your paper towel again, tear off another strip, and create a little cushion. I'm going to hold it like this. Now dab at that color. You can go over the color and then you can dab it on the black parts too, so you get a little bit of pink on the edges of the black. Can you see the texture, how it sort of flattens the color and you don't see the dots as much? That's what we want. With what's left over on my brush, there's a little bit of paint left. I'm just going to plop it down on the paper. Now the blue. This is a brighter color, so I really want to take advantage of that. And I'm painting it on the opposite corners too, the ones we haven't really used yet. Now with another piece of paper towel, I'm gonna blend it out. And you just pat that color. Don't press too hard, because if you press too hard, what can happen is that you just lift the color completely off the paper, and that's not what we want. And now for our last color in this sort of galaxy background, the orange. This is the brightest color that we're going to use, so a little goes a long way. I've decided to make these little sort of clusters, these little groups of dots in just some specific areas where I want it to be pretty bright. And with my paper towel, I'm just gonna dab it until I get the color that I want. You see what I did? Again, with what's left over on my brush, I'm just going to plop it down on the paper. So this is what we have so far. You can see that the colors blend over that dark background, and it still doesn't look too galaxy-like yet, but that's because we haven't made our stars. So I'm going to just put a little more details. some more pink, some more blue, to make sure that our galaxy is nice and bright. You can add whatever colors you think would be nice. You could have added more purple or more orange, but I think this is how I'm going to leave it for today. Remember to close the lid on your paint pot so the paint doesn't dry. And now we are on to our rocket ship. In my example, I showed you a green rocket ship, but for this one, I wanted it to be red. So just draw this sort of shape like the tip of a finger. And don't worry if the red is a little transparent and you can see the background through it. This is just the first coat. We're gonna do a second layer of paint later on. Now with this green, I'm going to paint the wings of my rocket ship. So I'm going to do one wing on the left, and then one wing on the right, and then that's where the engine is. So this is how it's looking. And now stars. With my thin paintbrush again, you just dip a little bit into the white. You don't need a lot of color here because we want to make small little dots for the stars. And now this is where you can go all out and make as many stars as you want. If you see what I'm doing, I'm really just randomly placing these stars all around our night sky. Some are bigger, some are smaller, some have more paint, some are a little dimmer. Because when you look up at the night sky, you can tell that some stars seem bigger and brighter, and then some stars that might be far away are a little dimmer and less bright. I like to do little clusters, little groups of stars all around. As you can see, I put a lot of stars in my galaxy. And I think that really sells the universe look, don't you think? I think it looks great. Now, we're going to do our second coat on our rocket ship. Since we were painting the stars, that first layer of paint on the rocket ship already dried. And as you can see, that second layer already made such a difference. The colors are brighter and more opaque. Opaque means that they're not transparent, so you can really see the colors pop. Now dipping into the red, look at how much brighter it looks on that second coat. Painting, a lot of the times, requires a lot of patience because you need to let things dry. Now with the red and yellow, I'm making fire coming out of the rocket ship because it's blasting through my galaxy. And this is where I realized I made a mistake. I forgot a window for a rocket ship. So with the tip of my paintbrush, I'm just scraping off that paint, and now I'm going to paint that window white. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Or you could just wait for the red to dry. Now a little highlight on the rocket, and there we have our rocket ship. One last thing. We're gonna make some special stars to finish off this night sky. I'm gonna put the first one there. Do a dot and flick your paintbrush to make a shooting star. Now here I'm making just a brighter star with a lot of little shiny points. Do you see? It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to give off the feeling that it's a shiny star. I start with a cross and then I just keep adding lines until it looks bright and shiny. And there we have a galaxy. I love how this painting turned out. I think it's so pretty, so beautiful. I love the colors. I think the rocket is so cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this video too, and I hope you guys paint a galaxy scene just like this one. Good luck! Bye everybody!